because the blades is a good way to control people as well and take down people in the process. But looking at the side lanes here for the side of BREN Esports, I think the Ling will just have a great time going back and forth on those side lanes, as long as in terms of dueling, their lanes win.
I feel like it was one of those situations where they're kind of I wouldn't say preemptively doing it, just playing off the information at hand. You had somebody go into the mid lane, they were going to, you know, fast clear that jungle. They started on towards the orange side because they can generally see, oh, they started showing up, they started up into the mid lane, they quickly ran over to deal with their purple buff straight away. So at that moment, they say, okay, we can actually match you here. We're gonna start on our orange side, move over to our purple, and then contest for Litho Wanderer in the river.
I just like how both teams are actually having exactly the same thought, same sort of the routes that they do take. So it's all about, you know, who gets what, and then they can plot to the next attack, and we are already back in towards our game. So game number 2 here. I really do wonder how would they shut down Sin's side, because they only got Lusty, and if he uses Way of the Dragon to catch either the Harif or even the likes of Finn, it's easier to burst down. But Sin, they gotta make sure that they catch him real fast.
That's what Few is for. That's what Few is for. He is on the Sylvana, and I think he'll be a little more frugal when it comes to the Imperial Justice this time around, seeing how it didn't work out so well in game number 1. This gold lane matchup up top is also something interesting to note. Harith wins the early game compared to the Alice. Now Few spots one off. That's going to be Psycho right across the bush. And while the action isn't happening just yet, oh, nice arrow thrown out. Just misses by a hair.
I just love it that BREN Esports took something from Todak's book and they just put the Sylvana as a support. Like, you can do that. You're not limited into just those high damage dealing heroes. You can scale people there as well.
Yep.
Now with this Sylvana, they have the extra team fight capability.
Yeah, and speaking of which, there's going to be an arrow hitting on towards Few. It's just going to be having his health tickle a little bit, but Ribbo, as much as he can actually move across the map way quicker than the Harif, but he's already down low. Oh, it's really hard for him to join in if they were to start the turtle from the side of RRQ Hoshi, and we're just waiting for perhaps these guys to be prepared to make that rotation.
Yeah, between the two of them up top, Ribbo here and R7. Obviously, R7 has to telegraph when he's gone. But Ribbo, on the other hand, can rotate towards mid and then somehow help out if this turtle fight does break out. As you can see, it's Lusty just waiting here in that pixel bush. That's going to be Zaman Force already committed. So Ribbo can say, hey, no more Zaman Force. I think we can move on, try to do something. And after this orange buff, we can expect something big from Carl.
Yeah, and it's already going on the recall, so he can directly walk straight in towards the turtle pit pretty much quickly. Now, a little bit of the contention for the golden crab, if you may call it. So, gonna be a lot of gold coming for the side of Sin.
This is great for the side of BREN Esports. If you think about it, Vin hasn't been that hot onto hitting those arrows.
Yeah,
The
not so
opening wasn't there, and Carl TZ had a good 3 minutes. First 3 minutes were good for Carl TZ. BREN Esports here is going for the turtle, and there's no contest. Up top, Ribbo will be the target.
First blood here by R7. Again, they're trading lives for turtles. Ribbo taken out. That's going to be a huge move for Sin, the first kill of the game. Now, the gold gap isn't so big. This is how we saw it earlier on. And so far, the fact that Rebo stayed in the lane, and that's 3 members of RRQ that had to share the EXP and the gold up top. That's what led to this very, very small marginal gain on BREN Esports, but there's no conversion really.
Yeah, and Calamity's life already in the hands of R7 after 1 kill in the back, but Psycho easily gets spotted out by Few with that sort of movement. Nothing much is going to be happening between the two of them, but of course, Psycho has a very big duty coming in towards those team fights, and he's got to catch out Kaltizi, but look at just the layers of things, and Kaltizi has already used the Blazing Duet.
Calamity Reaper is something that R7 can just utilize, and if they ever want to pick fights right now, this might be the time that they should go for it. And the upper turret doesn't have any more energy shields, I think. It was chipped down a bit by R7
Yeah,
here.
all 3 of them. Yeah.
And if ever they want to just go for this,
Oh!
their next objective, and Lusty here will be the first target for Vin that he hits.
Oh, Swift as the coursing river, and well, it definitely did happen in the river, of course, and the rest of the members of RRQ, they're moving right in, trying to set things up against Ripple, but they catch him on towards Few. Davenport being popped out as he tries to run away, and he survives.
Now the rotations coming up from RRQ Hoshi, it seems like they're reading into BREN Esports' playbook. They know where the hell is BREN Esports gonna come from.
Yeah, it's easy, and I think for now RRQ Hoshi will do that and try to make this gold gap a little smaller, because Kaltizi's not there yet. Kaltizi's not there. Oh, Flap Daisy gonna be coming in. There's the ejector onto 1. Turtle taken in by the Ling. That's Sin helping out. Lusty destroyed. That's Wiz King taking him in. Psycho, though, gonna get away from Flap Daisy. So far, it's the 1 for none. Rebo looking low. He is gonna. Oh, the flicker in! The flicker in! All the damage from R7, ladies and gentlemen. They're all low, but they're getting the kills nonetheless. Psycho just acting as a barricade. Kaltizi and Few can't do much. Wow, that was a total win. A wash for BREN Esports. They couldn't get anything. And conversion through the roof. A turret. You want a turret with that? Yes, sir.
Yeah, quite a destruction that we've just witnessed over on towards the turtle side, and RRQ Hoshi has been able to also back a turret right down below, but I'm looking at the lack of responses coming in from BREN Esports side as well. But we saw an early usage of the Blazing Duet on towards those minions itself. I don't think it's relatively worth it.
I think Kaltizi just understands that he has to speed up the clear.
Sure.
He has to catch up, and they can see that the gold gap is growing. And if he's not joining fights, which I think he shouldn't, then yeah, Blazing Duet by all means. Pull the trigger.
Now, I'm seeing BREN Esports having a hard time. Well, that's obvious. But still, we haven't seen Kaltizi with the Blazing Duet. And it just seems to me that RRQ Hoshi are picking their fights well. They fight in a time where Kaltizi has his Blazing Duet down.
Yeah, again, it's just basics. It's fundamentals. Now, nice catch. Imperial Justice on a Psycho. Plus a down force by R7. A few shields gonna save him. There's the Tempest of Blade. And Sin knocks out Kaltizi. Easy! Oh, R7 barely survives. Flap Easy pops him open. That's a double for Sin, though. Rebo gonna get away. Blood O keeping him alive, but how long? Vin is still alive here. Flap Easy. Shot energy, is it enough for him to take on two? Oh, Wiz King and Vin. Here comes Sin with the orange buff. It's gonna hurt. Oh, I think they disengage. They know that Few can still deal a lot of damage.
Definitely have to disengage right there. It's a 2-for-2 trade, and it's still working out for side of BREN Esports. As at least they do have Laptisi here, and they are getting flanked from multiple directions. It's a killing spree coming in for Sin, and the next one to fall. It's gonna be Sin that gets caught out. I think it's pretty okay with this catch.
Yeah, well, Few still the instinct to stay and know that I can out-sustain these members of RRQ. Hoshi left. The spiral strangling keeps El Capitan alive enough to make sure that when Kaltizi comes back, they can contest for this turtle. And ooh, look at this down bottom.
Oh yeah.
Gives them enough space, and Carl gets hit by the arrow.
Oh!
Damage output!
That's gonna be Kaltizi shut down. R7 takes the turtle. Zaman Force, there's enough shields in there to keep him alive. RRQ Hoshi shouting their lungs out. They know they won that all in.
This is the things that a Selena can do. It can hit your jungler in the middle of two people, and that's how impactful the
Trick
Selena
shot.
is.
A trick shot.
Done correctly.
Oh, you just look at Wiz King and he does not even care how much you can put upon it, but Psycho is getting focused on, and they are already trying to get away to cut through the throats, and the Yuzong still gets away with that kill after expending that execute.
Oh, that was a beautiful execute. Full range, I believe, because Flap Easy clicked it as he was exiting. Now, if only this was a Festival of Blood. I think he made the call. That was a calculated decision prior to the game. He picks Killing Spree so that he lasts longer in these fights. I'm wondering if he's kicking himself right now, saying, oh, I could have gotten stacks. I could have gotten stacks.
Maybe he might just be.
But at that point on, RQ Hoshi could have just let BREN Esports go and try to go for another objective. But what do? They try to get as much kills as possible. Then Carl Tease here is gonna have more time to just get his farm. There's no pressure for him. Lusty gets an Athena shield. They are slowly scaling up to that point where RQ Hoshi, they might not have an answer for this Claude anymore.
Oh, here we go. Black Dragon form. Flap Easy comes in. There's the Imperial, just catches one. R7 decimated, and now underneath the turret, this fight is gonna continue. They're gonna trade out Lusty. Taken out by Psycho. It's tank-on-tank violence. I still call it supportal combat.
No.
Oh, down bottom, Sin with the split push. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a worthy trade.
That was way too sneaky coming from the side of RRQ. Yes, they did trade, and it's okay for R7 right there as they still manage to catch on towards Lusty. Mid lane.
No, an ejector into the back. Step is the blaze, keeping him down. They're still alive. Flap Easy. A few hits. Oh! Few able to help ideally survive, but only for so long because Flap Easy is gonna bite it right here. It's only Few and Rebo. Only Few and Rebo. Lusty gonna be trying to come back. That's Blood Ode into the back line. And Vin is getting the brunt of this all, and right now it's Few, and he's Spiral Strangling once more, poking the front lines, and there's a Zaman Force. Oh, you do best to disengage, and R7 gets one still.
And these are the fights where you can see the split decision making coming up from these teams. Carl TZ goes back in, takes down Ling. Now, when they saw that, someone just jumped on Carl, took him down. The threat assessment here for both teams are so on point. They turn instantaneously if ever a high priority target is in front of them.
Yeah, as much you just took the words right out of my mouth. They just appear and immediately they pull the trigger right there, just like now. Rebo is getting chunked out. Blood Oath trying to survive, but Rebo will still fall nonetheless. Now RRQ, they should be able to get the top side of the tier 1s, and the Lord is already out, but Few already engaging, and Kaltizi gets caught out.
That's going to be the ejector into the Imperial Justice, resulting to not much. Tempest of Blades going to want to start a little bit more trouble in the purple buff. BREN Esports' jungle is a hot zone. That's going to be one for Few, one for FlapTZ. That's a double though. Sin shut down by the half dragon. FlapTZ here. He wants more. He smells blood. 2 for 2. I think that's as good as BREN Esports can get.
Okay, so now that's a 2 for 2, but the advantage here for BREN Esports is they have the retribution. They can get this Lord, probably try to slow it up a bit, but Psycho and Whisking, they won't let that happen.
They're gonna force the issue, and here comes Rebo. Psycho gonna be going back. Oh, we have the dragon. Lastly says, get away from here, and the Lord is secured by BREN Esports.
Just one slight mishap coming from the side of RRQ Hoshi has opened things up, and it all led to this. When they saw Sin was already out, immediately they called for it, especially, you know, having no retribution on the side of RRQ, and by the time Rebo come, RRQ says, okay, this is definitely not gonna be our Lord. And oh boy, this might just be the biggest comeback coming towards game 2.
Butters, I have a question for you. 3 towers on RRQ Hoshi, but BREN Esports got the Lord. Who won the trade?
Definitely BREN Esports, because they are the ones who's gonna stall the game a bit. Now, this is a Luminous Lord. This is something RRQ Hoshi needs to send 2 to 3 people for.
At least.
At least. So that means the turrets on the side of RRQ Hoshi are bound to go down, and that is one turret immediately at the hands of BREN Esports.
Guess what? They're even sending their own man upon it just to try to buy even more time, but here's
defensive Tempest Ablaze onto Sin. He is out of this. This fight for now. Another push in mid. I think that turret down bottom might be next. Nay, make it this one in mid. And right now, BREN Esports, they're just taking as much time as they need to be able to secure the late game. Kaltizi, call him Mr. I Don't Sleep.
Now, Leo Contra, this is where the jungle choke happens. You can see that BREN Esports is scattering themselves all over the map. Contra, you were saying.
Yeah, it's all resources for the side of BREN Esports right after securing that Lord. Not only that, you see so many layers that we saw coming from the side of RQ. Yeah, they want to go in for those picks. Every single time that they see BREN Esports, they try to dive right at him. Just look at the goal lead right now, swinging in favor of the side of BREN Esports. Already 2.5, and well, there's gonna be a lot of money for them to buy all these items in.
I just want to check the items right now so that we have a bit of time. Oh no, there's a fight happening.
Oh no! Ejector started up, it's Few, that's gonna be Tempest of Blades. You know Sin feels it right now. Black Dragon forming here by FlapTZ. Oh, and Whisking gets blown to pieces. Ejector into the turret, Summon Force right there. That's gonna be the barricade. Down goes Whisking, Rebo gets the kill, and that's one for BREN.
I think this is the perfect time to just go for an item check. So let's see
Better
what
late than never.
the Claude has. Demon Hunter Sword. He has the Athena Shield up.
Check.
He has the Golden Staff
Check.
up. So the items here are not all damaged items, but still it gives him a certain amount of protection. For Flap, it's going to be a Cursed Helmet, a Queen's Wings, and a Bloodless Axe, plus an Oracle. Extra tankiness. Rebo here is almost at item lock. So we can expect a lot from him in the coming fights. R7 though, he has a Calamity Reaper, the Feather of Heaven, the Holy Crystal, everything that he needs to deal a certain amount of damage. But Sin with the Queen's Wings, that might help them in the coming fights.
Oh, hopefully it does, because Psycho's going right in with his unstoppable force already, but he is getting taken down immediately. And with that, R7 goes into be securing the killing spree by having View taken out.
Nice for RRQ. I like that RRQ is trading out effectively, and they defended that inhibitor turret relatively well. Could have been cleaner since Psycho had to go down just the same. But there is one thing that's alarming me. One thing that says, oh, RRQ, Hoshi, I think they know that they're on the ropes, is because almost all Tempest of Blades in the past 2 or 3 team fights have been defensive. Right now they want to pick this. Sin, another defensive Tempest of Blades going to be going back, and Flapteezy and Rebo are here. They're dealing the damage, they're raining it down. That's going to be Ling taken down. Another looking for it. Oh, waiting, come back. That's R7 now. And from the back, it's Whizzking. 3, 4, none. BREN Esports can go ahead and take this Free Lord second in the game. And from here, another penetration.
You can really see the TZ connection. Once in, goes down for Claude. What Flap does is he goes around with the Black Dragon form, just targeting Sin. And Sin can't do much about that.
Yeah, they went in a little bit too early, if you ask me, because they went in for that engagement by the corners of the jungle, and there's nothing much to get out of it. They loosen in the process. This is just history repeating itself.
Ooh.
And second Luminous Lord for the side of BREN Esports. I think they have got this game pretty much sealed.
Yep, Divine Glaive going over to R7, but check it out, Flapteezy just got his Sea Halberd now. Middle lane pushed in. Lord isn't even on the map just yet. Now, we have come from just building casual Deadly Blades into actually turning it into a full-on Sea Halberd, and that is just impressive. That just shows how much Flapteezy wants to really stop the regeneration and finish fights when they started, because I believe the next 1 or 2 team fights, if it even extends to that, could be the last.
Yeah, and looking at R7, they don't really have as much deaths. Whizzking as well, so you really just have to stop them on their tracks. If they can stall out the game, make an important pickoff, make an important play, then that might be something that BREN Esports can lose from.
Yeah, speaking of losing stuff, they're already lost the top side of the turret, and you can definitely see that Finn is absolutely caught out. That's not you needs to be at, but the Lord is already scored it, and Lusty is hunting for those kills. BREN Esports will definitely get this equalizer right here for the Philippines.
Sitting at 1-1.